Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Let's discuss the last portion, that is organic chemistry portion. In organic chemistry we are having 10 units. These are the 10 units from the 19 to 28. The first one is unit 19, that is purification and characterization of organic compounds. In this unit, what you need to learn, the first one is the purification. How can we purify the organic compounds? For that purpose, we are having different methods. The first one is what? Crystallization. The second one is distillation. Third one is solvent extraction. And the fourth one is chromatography. So among all these methods, you need to have a special focus on chromatography. In the chromatography, the first technique and the important technique is what? Thin layer chromatography. In the thin layer chromatography, what is the stationary phase and what is the mobile phase? That you need to have a particular idea, right? For the preparation of the stationary phase, we are having silica gel, right? We are having different kinds of the silica gel, that you need to have a particular idea, right? Along with this purification, here we are having a small topic for the identification of nitrogen, sulfur, halogens, like that. We all know that Lejene's test, right? In the Lejene test, we are going to identify the presence of nitrogen, sulfur, halogen atoms which are present in the organic compounds. That you need to have a clear idea. At the intermediate level, what happens? Just we are going to remember only the theoretical portion. But what should you do? You need to understand the equations. How can we prepare the Lejene extract? Right? From the Lejene extract, how we are going to identify the presence of nitrogen, sulfur and the halogens. We all know that Persian blue color is going to be appeared whenever the nitrogen atom is present in the organic compound. You need to understand what is the formula of that Persian blue color. In that way you need to prepare, right? For the estimation purpose, we are having Liebig's method for the estimation of carbon and hydrogen, Jaldal's method for the estimation of nitrogen. These two estimations are enough, right? So this is all about the first unit or the organic chemistry portion, unit 19. Now come to the next unit, some basic principles of organic chemistry. This is very important thing. Here we need to prepare the things in such a way that we need not to again depending upon the each and every subsequent units, right? The first one is IUPAC nomenclature of all kinds of organic compounds based upon the functional group. Alkane, alkene, alkyne, alkyl halides, ethers, carbonyl compounds, it means aldehydes, ketones, esters, nitro compounds, nitriles. In this way, from the starting point only, you should have an idea of IUPAC nomenclature. We all know that the fixed pattern for the IUPAC nomenclature. Just follow that pattern. Based on that pattern, you can easily understand and you can easily identify the name of the compound. If the name of the compound is given, you can write the structure of the compound. Right? This is the first point you need to remember. The second one is that what? Identification of isomerism. We have different kinds of the isomerism. Chain isomerism, positional isomerism, right? For each and every functional group, you should have that idea. If you have the alkane, what kind of isomerism is possible in alkanes, right? In case of remaining functional groups also. This is the second point you need to remember. The third point, what? Electronic displacement related things. What are those? Inductive effect, mesomeric effect, electromeric effect and hyperconjugation. These are very simple if you follow the O.P. Tandon book. There the things are clearly mentioned. Otherwise you are having your NCERT books also, no issue, right? Prepare those things also. Now come to the next unit, that is hydrocarbons. In hydrocarbons, we are going to observe alkane, alkene, alkyne and aromatic compound. Aromatic compound, especially we are going to have an emphasis on benzene, right? In order to prepare these particular points or particular groups, what should you do? For each and every one, we are having the methods of preparation and chemical properties. Just identify the important methods of preparation. If you talk about the alkanes, Woods reaction, Franklin reaction, like that we are having specific reactions for the synthesis of alkanes. In case of alkenes, in case of alkyne, identify those reactions and have an idea. The important thing in these kind of situations are chemical properties. You need to have a special focus on chemical property of each and every type of hydrocarbon. The chemical property of a particular compound is going to be the preparatory method for the another compound. That's why the chemical properties are very, very important. So be focused on the chemical properties, right? The next one, organic compounds containing halogens. So in case of halogens, we are having what? Aryl halides. In case of aryl halides also, chemical properties are very, very important. In the chemical properties, we need to observe the mechanism. SN1 mechanism, SN2 mechanism and SNI mechanism. Identify these three mechanisms properly. Why? Because in most of the cases, the questions are coming from these three areas only. SN1, SN2 and SNI. Which kind of alkyl halide is involving in the SN1 reaction? Which kind of alkyl halide involving in the SN2 like SNI reactions? Next one, organic compounds containing the oxygen. Here we are going to observe alcohols, phenols, ethers, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. For all these reactions, you should have a clear idea of the chemical properties. Methods of preparations are not that much of important. Chemical properties are important. You can identify the chemical properties of alcohol may be the preparatory property for the remaining functional groups. Right? That's why try to have a clear idea on the chemical properties of all the groups. If you see the textbooks, the nomenclature is going to be given individually. In every unit you are observing the nomenclature. But here already we discussed that all the functional groups in IUPAC nomenclature will be studied at this point only. If you studied here, so need not to again emphasize on the IUPAC system. Right? The next one is organic compounds containing the nitrogens. In case of the nitrogens, what happens? We are having primary amines, secondary amines and tertiary amines. The difference between the primary, secondary, tertiary, what is the basicity, what is the order, you need to understand, right? Next one, polymers. It is very, very simple topic, polymer, addition polymers and condensation polymers and the related examples you should have. Thermoplastic polymers and thermosetting polymers. Just have a brief idea of these four topics. Addition, condensation, thermoplastic, thermosetting. Right? Next one, biomolecules. In the biomolecules, you should have carbohydrates and the amino acids. Be focused on only these two topics. Need not to go for the other topics which are given in the syllabus. Only carbohydrates and amino acids. Chemistry in everyday life. This is very, very simple one related to the medicines. What are the analgesics? What are the antioxidants? What are the antipyretics? Just you should have a common idea and some examples related to that. The last one is the what? Practical chemistry. This is very, very important. In the first unit we had a discussion that what? Detection of extra elements, nitrogen, sulfur and halogens. Whatever the equations you are having at that condition, those are going to be present here only. During the class 11th and class 12th, we have performed all these tests in the laboratory condition. That you need to remember. Detection of extra elements, the first one. The second one is titrations from the inorganic portions. Acid base titrations already we have done in the +1 +2 level. That's why you need to have a special focus on titrations. Here is the what? Detection of extra elements. The third one is qualitative analysis of inorganic compounds. We know that if you take an inorganic compound, we will be having a cation and anion. For the identification of cation and anions, we are having the different tests. Those tests you need to remember. Remember in the sense with the chemical equation. During the laboratory conditions, what we did, simply we have taken two chemicals and we mixed in a test tube. Then we have identified a particular color. Based on the color, we are saying that this is related to the particular cation or the particular anion. That you need to identify. If the color is formed, what is the chemical molecule in that particular color? That you need to have, right? So simply detection of extra elements, titrations, and the qualitative analysis of the inorganic compounds. So prepare in this way, you can usually understand the organic chemistry and you will get good score in the examination, right? So this is all about what your preparation for the JEE mains examination, right? In the next video, we will be having a discussion of the preparation for JEE advanced.